Matthew chapter 14, from the Webster Bible. Chapter outline: Herod's opinion of Christ. Why John the Baptist was beheaded. Jesus departeth into a desert, where he feedeth 5,000 men with 5 loaves and 2 fishes. He walketh on the sea to his disciples, and landing at Gennesaret, he healeth the sick by the touch of the hem of his garment. At that time Herod the Tetrarch heard of the fame of Jesus, and said to his servants, This is John the Baptist. He hath risen from the dead, and therefore mighty works do show forth themselves in him. For Herod had laid hold on John, and bound him, and put him in prison for the sake of Herodias, his brother Philip's wife. For John had said to him, It is not lawful for thee to have her. And when he would have put him to death, he feared the multitude, because they counted him as a prophet. But when Herod's birthday was kept, the daughter of Herodias danced before them, and it pleased Herod. Upon which he promised with an oath to give her whatever she would ask. And she, being before instructed by her mother, said, Give me here the head of John the Baptist in a dish. And the king was sorry. Nevertheless, for the sake of the oath, and of them who sat with him at table, he commanded it to be given her. And he sent and beheaded John in the prison. And his head was brought in a dish, and given to the damsel, and she brought it to her mother. And the disciples came and took up the body, and buried it, and went out and told Jesus. When Jesus heard of it, he departed thence in a boat into a desert place apart. And when the people had heard of it, they followed him on foot out of the cities. And Jesus went forth and saw a great multitude, and was moved with compassion towards them, and he healed their sick. And when it was evening, his disciples came to him, saying, This is a desert place, and the time is now past. Send the multitude away, that they may go into the villages and buy themselves victuals. But Jesus said to them, They need not depart. Give ye them to eat. And they say to him, We have here but 5 loaves and 2 fishes. He said, Bring them hither to me. And he commanded the multitude to sit down on the grass, and took the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes. And looking up to heaven, he blessed, and broke, and gave the loaves to his disciples, and the disciples to the multitude. And they all ate, and were satisfied. And they took up of the fragments that remained 12 baskets full. And they that had eaten were about 5,000 men, besides women and children. And immediately Jesus constrained his disciples to get into a boat, and to go before him to the other side, while he sent the multitudes away. And when he had sent the multitudes away, he ascended into a mountain apart to pray. And when the evening was come, he was there alone. But the boat was now in the midst of the sea, tossed with waves, and the wind was contrary. And in the 4th watch of the night Jesus went to them, walking on the sea. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, It is a spirit, and they cried out for fear. But immediately Jesus spoke to them, saying, Be of good cheer, it is I. Be not afraid. And Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it is thou, bid me to come to thee on the water. And he said, Come. And when Peter had come down out of the boat, he walked on the water to go to Jesus. And when he saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried, saying, Lord, save me. And immediately Jesus stretched forth his hand, and caught him, and said to him, O thou of little faith, why didst thou doubt? And when they had come into the boat, the wind ceased. Then they that were in the boat came and worshipped him, saying, In truth thou art the Son of God. And when they had gone over, they came into the land of Gennesaret. And when the men of that place had knowledge of him, they sent out into all the surrounding country, and brought to him all that were diseased, and besought him that they might only touch the hem of his garment, and as many as touched were restored to health.